FGCU never knew what hit him. We relive Darius McGhee's record-breaking performance, and we talk some Liberty track and field.
Plus, Hearsay with EA is back, and we bring you the emotional story of Heather Golnick. That's all next on Flame Central.
There is no stopping Darius McGhee.
That's right, you heard me. After back-to-back impressive performances, there may be a new GOAT on Liberty's campus. Hey everybody, welcome to Flame Central. Alongside Emily Austin, I'm Rhett McGibbon. And Emily, I think it's fair to say Darius McGhee has hit a new level.
I think you hit a new level here on Flame Central, bringing the farm animal noises. But I truly feel sorry for any defender matched up against Darius McGhee this season. The senior for the Flames has saved his best basketball for his final year. Wait until you hear the high praise he received from head coach Richie McKay.
Yeah, it was some high praise. Well, this is going to be a night where everybody will ask, where were you when McGhee drained 48 against FGCU? Now, it was an average first half for Darius. He scored 11 points to lead the Flames, and FGCU would lead at the break by 9. But in the second half, McGhee exploded, scoring 37 of Liberty's 48 points in the half, including a 13-0 run, all by his lonesome. The man was unstoppable, leading Liberty to a 78-75 victory over FGCU. This performance sets a new program record for points in a game, beating out Bailey Alston's previous marker of 46. It's also the most points scored by a D1 player this season. It's his second 40-point game of the season as well. And with more on this record-breaking performance is Emily.
Rhett, this is how I envisioned Darius McGhee this past fall. Kicked up in his lazy boy at home, watching Flame Central, and seeing Malik Willis take over this segment, Hearsay with EA. That's the moment he planned his current domination of college basketball. Hey, we all need motivation. Hearsay with EA is just here to provide it. Let's see what they're saying around the internet on the three-point king scoring machine. The guard got some love from the ASUN account about the new conference record. McGhee is the first ASUN player to drop 48 points. CBB review shows who was at the top spot of the best performances after a Saturday of college hoops. Nice to see someone take notice at a higher level. All right, here's some more love. Basketball analytics, Dom Samangi knows greatness when he sees it, even saying D. McGhee is quietly having an All-American season. He leaves us with a good reminder. This guy, Darius, only 5'9" with a 48-inch vertical. Still not much national attention. Here's a live look from the national media, thanks to the Malik Willis for Heisman Burner account. And then we go to Rise and Shine. John Rothstein finally showing some attention. Lost amid the shuffle. Nope, this one wasn't lost. We know this guy is a stud. Rhett, will it last?
Well, it's going to be a tough task against the ASUN's #1 scoring defense in Jacksonville. It was not a strong start for the Flames. Liberty struggled offensively in the opening minutes this game as Jacksonville taking a 16-5 lead off a strong start from Osifo. Quickly after that, the Flames would awaken. Blake Preston would help a Liberty run start. He'd finish with 10 points of his own. And then moments later, a clean drive by McGhee would start what would be another memorable night by the senior. More on him in just a moment. After a tough game, McDowell would get Liberty back on track. He'd hit the corner three as the Flames went on a 19-6 run. Keegan would finish 7 of 9 from three-point land. Now back to McGhee, Emily. The man, he just must have taken off his cape before the game started. Check out the between the legs, step back, triple, that's money. Not enough, fine. Defender glued on him, boom, another triple. And then finally, the pièce de résistance. Off-balance bomb and the +1. McGhee would total 27 points in just 23 minutes. Here's what Coach McKay had to say about his star.
Okay, I'm just going to say it. He's not Steph Curry, but what he does for our team is Steph Curry-esque. And I think I can say that because Steph is my favorite player and I coached his brother. And I'm telling you, you're missing out if you don't come see him live. Come see us live because he's a special player.
Steph Curry-like. I'm buying it. You know, it's entertaining just to watch the fans' reactions when Darius drains some of those Steph Curry-like shots. Mouths drop, hands go up. Something else that's entertaining is our Flame Central podcast. This week, for our snowed-in edition, it was a no-brainer to invite the GOAT as our guest. So you're a scoring threat, but then some nights you want to distribute the ball. Is this something like a rock, paper, scissors thing you do to decide before tip-off, or how does that work?
It's like a chess match.
Yeah.
That's what I've treated it as. Like I was in a chess club from like 5th grade on, so.
Really?
Yeah, so I kind of treat the basketball the same way. Like there's a lot of different actions going on, so there's counters to everything. So like I said, that's why recognition is the biggest piece. You got to be able to see and make decisions on the fly. So you got to have those answers in the back of your pocket.
Rhett, that's why I don't play chess or basketball. To hear all of our conversation from the shooting superstar, be sure to check out our Flame Central podcast. We promise to bring you all of the best coverage on Liberty athletics and, of course, some entertaining stories off the field as well. Don't believe me? Subscribe to the Flame Central podcast today.
Yeah, always great to have Darius on the podcast. Well, the Lady Flames are in the midst of a stellar season. It's their best start since 1997. Now, they did just come off an emotional loss to FGC on the road, and they had their eyes set on getting back into the win column at Liberty Arena against Jacksonville. Let's head straight to the second quarter of this one. Liberty leading 16-14 at the start and would have a near-perfect quarter of basketball in the second. The Flames would open up with a 17-0 run, holding the Dolphins scoreless for the initial 8:42. The Flames led by as many as 19 points before Jacksonville scored their only 3 points of the quarter in the final minutes. Third quarter now, and talk about flipping the script. It was total domination by the Dolphins. They would hold LU to 0 of 6 shooting during the quarter, while LU committed 8 turnovers. That play would continue into the fourth, where Taylor Hawks would score the initial 8 points for Jacksonville, and they lead by 5 midway through. However, Liberty would hang around, and in the late stages, off the inbound, Smingy would score a tough basket to put Liberty back up 1, and then LU would hold strong on the defensive end to improve to 4-1 in conference play, taking this game by a score of 49-48.
Great win to the gridiron. Time to talk about another GOAT for Liberty. Malik Willis, the quarterback, is making headlines as a top 3 finalist for the Bobby Bowden Trophy. The award recognizes the college football player who exemplifies a student athlete of faith. That's in the classroom, on the field, on campus, and in the community. You know all about Malik's success on the field, and you also may know Willis has been extremely vocal about his faith throughout his collegiate career, whether that be in his press conferences, on social media, and with that God's Plan arm sleeve that he wore every game. All right, Liberty football will see a change under center with Malik preparing for the NFL draft. The Flames also have some coaching staff changes as well. Here are the newest additions to the Mountain. Offensive line coach Chris Klinikis is a veteran coach who brings a seasoned resume from the FBS and Power 5 level. Defensive backs coach Darius Eubanks, who is a former outside linebacker in the NFL, comes to LU from Georgia State. And a huge score for the defensive line, former Ole Miss lineman Jeremy Garrett, who joins the Flames after spending the last 2 seasons with the Cleveland Browns. So a lot of coaching experience joining the Flames, looking to continue their success on the gridiron.
Well, the weather outside might be frightful, but Flames indoor track is so delightful. Liberty competed at the Virginia Tech Invitational this past weekend and had a really strong showing. Ryan Drew stole day 1 of the Invitational. He captured first in the men's mile with a time of 4 minutes, 4.71 seconds. That time shattered the ASUN Conference all-time record for that event. Also in the mile, Mary Hostetler would place 2nd overall, but finished as the top collegiate finisher with a time of 5 minutes, 7.94 seconds. Kennedy Sauter would have an impressive Liberty debut in the high jump. The freshman would have a clutch 3rd jump, clearing 7 feet, 1.5 inches, tying a program record and placing himself as the highest jump by a freshman in the NCAA this season.
Let's stay on the track for our next feature because there is plenty of talent to talk about on this roster. Meet 4 of the fastest guys on campus and potentially in the nation. Check out how close these sprinters' personal best times are in the 100-meter dash, which means where there's competition, there's also trash talk. And trust me, their mouths run just as fast as their feet.
I'm mic'd up right now, you see it? Don't touch the mic.
We're here mic'd up, you know.
One night I was playing FIFA in Spanish, bro. I'm like, what? Man, I was getting beat like 7-0 though. I feel like we had one of the best sprint groups in the nation.
You know a thing, too, about trash talking. You know, warming up, you gotta warm up your whole body.
We all run the 100, 200, 4x1, the 60, the 300, the 4x4. What else we run?
Sit. I'm the first one here, the fastest one here.
You have the school record because we weren't here.
You'll see.
No, don't worry, he can be beat. He can be beat. And I'm gonna be the one to do it.
Coach Pete, they gotta put the school record up there. I got the school record in the 100 and the 200.
One thing I will say is that Georgia breeds way better athletes than any other state, including Mississippi.
I'll admit that I'm last. I'm not the best trash talker, you know. I'm trying. I've been practicing all week. Just like I want my body, I want my vocal cords and my brain to tell these guys that I'm better than them.
Listen to what this man ate this morning.
A Doritos sandwich?
Who eats Doritos for breakfast in a sandwich?
That's the breakfast of champions.
Make sure you have a trash can nearby, because he'll need it.
Every Wednesday I throw up.
You gonna beat us in the 120?
That's not even a question. You ever heard of a rhetorical question?
We call it Don one and done, because he has one rep in him, and after that, it's over for him.
Give me the first rep of the 120. He's out of there.
Well, Donald, he's just a talker. I'm telling you, he says he's gonna go off on the 120s, and he's gonna only go off on 120.
I mean, it's true. Well, sometimes I have bad days, sometimes I got good days.
And you know, I feel bad for him, like really, really bad. I mean, just look at him.
Out of all of us, I'm the most versatile. Look, I also long jump too. So none of them long jump, I long jump. I feel like I'm number one. I never settle myself short.
Still to come on Flame Central, the story of Liberty Triathlon coach Heather Golnick. And Rhett brings us a new Warm Hot and Fuego.
Plus another top 50 moment in Liberty Athletics history. That's when Flame Central returns.
Our Father, we feel that we're standing on holy ground. This is your university. It is not ours. Day by day, step by step, you have provided men and women to teach, to lead, to direct, to administer this institution. And here we are.
May you always be, for the future of liberty, what we're all about. We're training young champions for Christ.
You brought to us literally thousands of people who may never have stood where we stand, but have prayed and have given.
We can train the doctors and the lawyers and scientists and the artists. But whatever they're going into, they need to be champions for Christ.
How does one become a champion for Christ? You've got to involve yourself with children of God who are champions. And you sit under professors and Bible teachers and Christian leaders. You've got to work harder than others do. No 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Oh no. It's 7 days a week and it's 24 hours a day. Because many enter the race, but only one gets the prize. God has stamped his name on this place. This is God's mountain, Liberty Mountain. We are his people, this is his word, his book, and this is his miracle. We promise you that we'll do our part. We will not let down the barriers, we will not compromise the message, we'll stay on center with a message.
Our structures may change, but never our goals. All the things we were, we are, and ever shall be.
I believe that we can change the course of history if we will determine young people to become champions for him, not ordinary, but extraordinary.
Our Heavenly Father from his throne will say, that is my university. May God make it ever so.
A history degree is versatile enough to be used in almost any context. At Liberty, our program teaches you 3 universal skills that can help you in any career path. Research. We show you how to evaluate information in original sources for reliability and accuracy. Analysis. We help improve your ability to examine arguments and determine faulty logic. Communication. We teach you to convey large amounts of complex information through detailed writing and public speaking. From business and government jobs to film consulting and missions, with a history degree from Liberty University, many career paths can be open to you.
Welcome back to the show. Here at Flame Central, we are called to bring you stories of inspiration, of hope, and of faith. Liberty Triathlon head coach Heather Goldnick's testimony embodies all of that and more. When she and her husband were faced with a scary surprise, it would be this escape that would help provide Heather motivation to keep going and help her continue her journey with the Lord.
I married my high school sweetheart, Todd. We were both gymnasts. Got married fairly young, and we both knew we wanted a family. I found out I was pregnant, was super excited. I remember jumping on the bed. I almost hit my head on the moving fan. And at our first appointment, we found out I was having twins. Not far along in the pregnancy, I was in at a regular checkup. I was feeling fine. And one of the nurses was like, "You are in labor." And we're like, "What?" And so they rushed me, via an ambulance to the hospital. And I was only 18 weeks pregnant.
Doctors would be able to delay the birth of the twins for a time, but even so, they would still be born premature. And along with that would come health complications.
It was 24 weeks and 4 days we had the kids, and they were tiny, tiny, tiny. We call them our little miracles because they were so small. My wedding ring fit around Jordan's leg. They gave them less than 10% to survive, 10% chance to survive. So it was a very, very hard time for a mom and dad, for a mom to have a baby and you can't hold your baby, you can't touch your baby. They were in these isolates, just wires everywhere, monitors beeping. I call them my miracles, but they're both fighters. And Jordan's had 13 surgeries. Josh had 6 surgeries. I basically lived at the hospital for about a year. Jordan had some really serious surgeries that I didn't know if she'd pull through. She suffers cerebral palsy because of everything she went through, but she's like, you would know because you can tell how she walks. She walks with canes, but she doesn't even like her canes. The doctors told her that she'd never walk and that she'd be in a wheelchair forever, and she's just a fighter.
In the midst of caring for her babies and the anxiety that was constant in her life due to their health challenges, Heather would find peace and exercise.
I was just home taking care of these babies. If you would have asked me if I wanted to be a nurse, I would not have said yes, but I was a nurse changing IVs and ostomy bags and different things, but I wanted to do it because they were my babies and I loved them, but it was also quite stressful. And so when the nurses came over, I would take a break. And so I think maybe some women in that case would have taken a nap or go read a book. I would go run. I would need to get the stress out. And so I've always been an athlete. I've dealt with my stress and my emotions by just getting out by myself and having time with the Lord and just praying. So if I go for a 2-hour bike ride and I'm just singing Christian songs and praying.
And as it turned out, these stress-relieving exercise sessions would be preparing her for one of the most challenging competitions in the world.
An Ironman is a 2.4-mile swim, 112-mile bike, followed by a marathon. And so it's an extreme endurance sport because it is 3 sports that takes a lot of dedication. It takes dedication to do it, but if you want to be the best at it, it takes an extreme amount of time and just pushing your body physically and mentally. I just loved being out there. It was my time alone. It was my time with the Lord. And I found that I was good at it. And so that drove me even more.
Eventually, Heather would enter her first Ironman competition as a professional. And it was then that God used her family and the challenges they had endured to push her even further than she could have ever imagined.
I ended up having, a good swim and a good bike. I actually took the lead for a little while and all the cameras were on me. And I'm like, this is so cool. I just passed that girl who's won Ironmans. And I was having a ball. I was having so much fun. And I got off the bike and I literally could not walk. I was like, I biked a little too fast probably. And I just started walking. And then I tried to run a little. And literally in my head, I was like, okay, where can I pull out of this race where nobody will see me and I'll just walk off and no one will know that, I quit. And literally like 200 feet after that thought, I see Jordan in her wheelchair. She's screaming, "Go mom, go mom." And I was like, okay, you can't walk off. Your legs are tired, but you can walk. So you better walk. And so I felt like the Lord saying, this little girl would give anything to walk an Ironman. So you keep going. And so I kept going. I tried to run again. And I felt amazing all of a sudden. I was like, okay, thank you, Jesus. And I ended up passing everyone that had passed me when I was walking. And I ended up winning the Ironman.
Heather would go on to win 5 Ironmans, with her family there supporting her every step of the way, each of them encouraging the other and finding joy in the challenges they faced.
It was really hard. I think the Lord blessed me with like a positive attitude. We could have been, sad and depressed, or we could be optimistic. And so we chose to be optimistic. And I think that's just really helped me in my life with whatever we go through. All 3 of my kids go to Liberty, so we're so blessed to have them all at a Christian school at Liberty, and they all wanted to come here. And so it's just amazing to see where they've come from being these tiny, tiny little miracles that weren't supposed to make it to, being college students and grad students at Liberty.
As both the mother and as an athlete, Heather has seen how God can take life's challenges and reshape them for His glory, and the beauty that can be found by trusting Him every step of the way.
A lot of the Ironman competitions I did, I was able to speak and share. When you win, you have that opportunity to praise the Lord, and I got to share my story of who I was and why I was doing it. And I really felt like this is why God wants me to do this, so I can shed light on Him and what He's done. And I hope that I'm setting an example and inspiring other people.
Great piece produced by our Helmut Montoya. So happy to have Heather and her family here on the mountain. All right, let's switch gears to Warm, Hot, and Fuego. Since you've done farm animal noises, you've spoken French, Christmas caroling, we're not going to make you do a theme. Don't want to work you too hard, right? But this is where we highlight the top players or moments of the week. We start things off with Warm. Who or what do we have?
It's a moment here. This is the late stages of the women's basketball game against Jacksonville. And Priscilla Smingy, she's not the one you think being the person to pull the trigger in the late stages, but what an effort by her. Tough shot, defender right on her, hands up, and she banks it off the window and in, and that was a big moment. Liberty, Coach Green said, I trust my defense. We're top 7 in multiple categories in the nation. I'll let them do the rest, but that was a huge shot by the Michigan transfer, a senior on this team. She has brought such an element of defense, and the scoring touches coming around for her. Against FGCU, she had 15 points. Last night, she had 9 points. So it's getting a little warm down the stretch, which is good to see.
Those type of moments are huge for the Lady Flames as they continue ASUN play. All right, moving on from warm to hot, what do we have?
Hot, we're going to women's hockey, and women's hockey here on the campus of Liberty University, it is a powerhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they should have 4 national titles in a row. COVID year kind of screwed that one up. But 3 straight titles. Haley Battles, a freshman on this team from, where do you think she's from?
Canada?
No, she's from Nashville. She's from Nashville. I know, right?
Hey, don't hate on Nashville.
Okay, I'm not. But look at the moves on this young lady. Beautiful backhander roof job. She's got a great passing ability as well. She's on the kid line. All freshmen on this team, and they have done great work. She's leading the Flames. Now, this is a team that has won multiple national championships in a row. They have some seniors on this team that are goal scorers. She is leading them in goals and in points. She is having an incredible freshman campaign and such a bright future still for Liberty women's hockey. This is a group that could keep going on and on.
I need to get out to some of their games this season,
sure.
Even though it feels like it outside. You're at the hockey rink. All right, we end things off with En Fuego. What do we have to finish things off with?
It has to be Darius McGhee.
Duh.
I try not to do back-to-back in Fuegos, but this week we're doing it.
How do you not?
I know, exactly. Look at this guy. He is just, I don't know any more adjectives to describe him, like his ability to hit the three. Yeah, exactly. I guess, the other night against Jacksonville, coming off a game in which you score 48, you seem like, oh, he only scored 27, but still, he was like, look at that move. Between the legs, step back, like Warner, I think, dropped a, are you kidding me in that moment? And I totally agree. He was phenomenal, and just to see him reach this level that I think we're all hoping for when he was a freshman, you see him coming out of high school, it's been so much fun to watch.
This is me at the scores table all game.
Yeah, I saw that. That was great.
Can't believe it.
Yes.
But great to have Darius McGhee here on the mountain as well, because he is leading these Flames to some great victories. All right, more to celebrate with Liberty Athletics right after the break. Great job, Brett. Don't go anywhere.
Where do you want to make an impact? At Liberty University, whatever your calling, you can gain the hands-on experience and knowledge you need to truly excel in your future career. With over 200 residential programs of study, you can find a degree that fits you and learn from professors committed to mentoring and guiding you along the way. So, what is your calling? Liberty University can ignite it, and your outcome will change the world.
Teachers, your goal in the classroom is to help your students succeed. At Liberty University, it's ours too. That's why you can earn your Bachelor's of Education, Master's of Education, or Master's in Teaching without leaving home, for one of the lowest tuition rates in the nation. Study conveniently and affordably so you can help your students succeed. And together, we'll inspire excellence. From our classroom to yours.
Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Flame Central. Hard to believe we're almost out of time, but before we let you go, we have to bring you another top moment from the past 50 years of Liberty Athletics.
Yeah, Rhett, this show has been focused on basketball, so let's not change it now. We go to the spring of 1994, a historic moment for Liberty Hoops.
March 7th, 1994.
And that could be the final basket of the game. Liberty's in a hurry. Campbell's not going to foul. And congratulations to the Flames of Liberty. They're going to the NCAA tournament.
Men's basketball in their 7th season as an NCAA Division I program and 3rd as a member of the Big South Conference reached the big dance for the first time. The Flames would never trail in this one, enjoying a double-digit lead for the entire second half. Liberty was led by freshman Peter Aluma, who had 14 points and 5 blocked shots. 3 others would score in double figures, and the defense would hold Campbell to just 28% shooting for the game. The Flames would go on to face North Carolina in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
So I remember Lynchburg during that time. I was this roly-poly 10-year-old just walking around. Yeah, I was, believe it or not. But yeah, Lynchburg during that time, they get that victory there. They go on to play UNC in the tournament, and Lynchburg was all about some Liberty basketball. They had the games on in the grocery stores. It was great.
Hopefully that happens for the Flames this season.
Yes.
All right, we're out of time. For Rhett, I'm Emily. We'll see you right back here next week.